Bob Flax here. I play things with strings, I hit stuff, and I sing. And it's time for a very lucky episode of Fuzz Fiddle with Flax. Today we're going to take a look at the contents of this package. What a little tiny guy from Land Devices. What might we have here? The Domino. Now, I am very curious about this, not just because it looks like a like that's so cute. Look at the design of that. It's like a domino tile. It's so tiny. This has no knobs, no controls, just an on-off switch. And that's because it's doing a very simple thing. This is not like any other fuzz I've ever shown on this because it's not actually a fuzz. It's a clean octave signal that will turn a regular fuzz into an octave fuzz. What do I mean by that? Let me explain. Imagine a waveform. It has a certain frequency. A rectifier circuit takes that wave and takes the negative half, the troughs, and folds them up. So you have an asymmetrical wave where the down parts have now been folded up into the up parts, creating twice as many ups. And that means that effectively you have something that is twice the frequency of whatever you were using before. I didn't really care about this effect for a long time until I stumbled upon the Fender Blender at a shop in Seattle a couple years ago. Blew my mind, I was really into it. But this thing, even though I'm using it here in the studio at home, is a bit of real estate. I have a giant pedal board and it's full. So I'm wondering if I could squeeze in something like the Domino to do just the octave part. Right now I have two fuzzes on my board, Chase Bliss Benson Preamp automaton, and I also have the Ranger Effects Bleep. I want to see what happens when you put this rectifying domino circuit after those. Can I use this and one of those to get me in the ballpark of this? Let's plug it in and find out. My signal chain, violin, is going into the pedal board into input 1 of the Boss ES8. From there, it is going to loop 1, which is the automaton, and then to loop 5, which has my compressor, into loop 7, which has the stereo stuff, and out to the end of the chain. There's a little bit of reverb from the Chase Bliss automaton, so I've got both automatons going. Let me mute the room mic, and you can hear my clean tone. Let's turn on the Land Devices Domino just clean and see what it sounds like. So at first glance, it doesn't sound like it's doing much, but when I play a double stop, you can hear that's when the weirdness happens and why I'm interested. The rectifier circuit really doesn't know what to do with a double stop. It still folds it in half, but instead of getting the intervallic relationship you had before, you might get a different chord or a new note or something even weirder, sometimes creating a difference tone that's lower than either note. Nice. Let's do that with the bow to exaggerate it more. Kind of weird, kind of nice. Okay, now let's combine it with the fuzz. Yeah! It's getting in the ballpark. One thing the Fender Blender does that this does not, at least by default, is it does some gating. It naturally has sort of a gating effect. So I'm going to switch over to the gated fuzz setting on the automaton, like so. Don't try this at home. This is a carbon fiber bow. It's kind of close, but it's not really there yet. Doesn't really sound like the Fender Blender to my ears. So I'm going to try two things. First, let's see if we just do a regular overdrive, not a fuzz. Let's see if overdrive plus domino equals gated fuzz type sound. Let's find out. That's really cool. Overdrive into the domino sounds really cool. That's a nice sound. I have to try it. The ES8 allows me to switch the order of pedals. Instead of fuzz into domino, let's do domino into fuzz. Okay, so now I have it so loop 4 is coming before loop 1. And I've got it set up. You see the camera here. Hopefully that'll show up on screen. It goes 4 into 1, which means that the domino is going into the automaton. Yes! 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 Oh, I'm so excited. That's the sound. That's it. We found it. We got it. It's domino into fuzz. You need the rectification first and then the fuzz. It's doing the gating thing on its own. You hear right now, right? This is the noise floor. I'm talking, but I'm leaving that on. You can hear it. If I turn off the domino, the noise floor will go up. Which means that the Land Devices domino, before a fuzz, turns the fuzz into an octave fuzz, and after an overdrive also sounds pretty cool. So let's try domino into bleep. I'll mute the room mics again. Yep, That's really awesome. So now the domino is sort of doing the same job as maybe a treble booster pedal will do if you're pushing something that's already completely saturated. It's freaking out those high frequencies in a way that's different from the low frequencies, and that is really exciting. I'm curious, let's swap it and see Bleep into domino. How does that sound? Kind of like both. Both are really nice. I actually don't know if I prefer one or the other. How does this octave up effect work with an analog octave down effect? How about we combine it with the U235 sub-octave generator? Let's find out. So if it's on before it, it doesn't seem to make a huge difference. What about after it? You. Holy cannoli, the U235 with the domino is like a gnarly Moog bass thing. It gives it this ripping, gritty bite thing that's very cool. Let's turn them all on. We got to turn them all on. There's just almost too much to talk about in one sitting here because, again, the magic of this effect is it's a partial effect. It doesn't do anything on its own. It's doing weird stuff to every other pedal, all of them behave differently with that rectification thing happening before or after. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please click the like button. That helps a lot. And even more helpful, subscribe to the channel. It makes your life better. It's good karma. You'll get better grades in school. You should subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Thanks so much. And if you want to support my work, you can do so by visiting patreon.com/RobFlax. There you'll have access to all kinds of exclusive music, including the music that I'm writing for this video, which will feature the Domino very heavily. So if you want to have an access to that and download it to use it for whatever you want, patreon.com/RobFlax for that and much, much more. Thank you to my patrons. I really appreciate your support. Okay, see you in the next one. Bye.